Fishing the Wild West TV with Wes David is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, Adventure Destinations. Book your trip of a lifetime with Adventure Destinations and Thompson's Resort. Big Chief Meat Snacks, big taste, big adventure. Along with Cam Clark Ford, the official vehicle of Fishing the Wild West TV.
Living a dream, fishing the streams, fishing the wild.
She's getting a little western on the deck. This week's episode of Fishing the Wild West TV, we're putting the tracker boat on Lac du Bonnet, Manitoba. We're gonna go for some crappie, which I'm really excited about, and some smallmouth bass. Join us on this week's episode, mixed bag, some panfish, smallmouth bass on Lac du Bonnet. Eric's a biologist with
the Department of Natural Resources here in Manitoba.
So we're fishing with him today, and we're on a water body that has done really well with crappie,
Yep.
walleye. We might even go for some bass later.
It's a really good fishery. We got multi-species opportunities and trophy species of almost everything we have here as well. So
we're here focused on the crappies, and it's August, which you say they can be really scattered, hard to find. And we're, again, just like bottom bouncing for walleye, we're having to cover some water, and we're picking up crappie on at different depths, on different structures.
Yeah, and not quite suspended fish like what you're used to at other times of the year. These fish are really bottom oriented on
tight to the bottom. Yeah, the graph's having trouble even telling the difference. They're holding so tight, just like walleye.
Yeah.
Let's get in there.
Let's do it.
That feels a little heavy, Eric. 12 feet of water.
Okay.
I don't know what it is yet, but he gave me the head shakes.
Yeah. There you go.
Crappie.
There you go.
All right. That's our first crappie of the morning. We're just trolling here, finding them. We're doing something a little unique. That's what not normally done with crappie. It's more known for walleye fishing. We're actually bottom bouncing these. They're scattered up here on the mud flats. We got a 1/2 ounce bottom bouncer, roughly a foot and a half, and just trolling a little jig, picking up some crappie. Eric's on just a boat length from where I just landed mine.
Okay, here we go. Another crappie. Right on.
They are cool fish.
They are, yeah.
So we're here in Manitoba. Eric, exactly where are we?
Okay, so we're in the Lac du Bonnet Lake system here in eastern Manitoba, which is an up-and-coming crappie fishery for us here. We're getting numbers of fish in the river systems and in the main lake now more and more. And so, yeah, it's a really good system with good numbers of crappie.
But we're in, this is considered the river system area?
This is the Lee River, which flows into Lac du Bonnet. So there's 3 rivers that, there's the Bird River, the Lee River, and the Winnipeg River, and all of which connect to Lac du Bonnet.
Let's get some more.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna just kind of stay out because I did have a nibble just when you...
There's it. Here it is.
All right.
All right.
So Eric, I'm gonna pull him out. Look how thin their mouths are. Like just paper thin, you can see my... So we were talking off camera. One, I'm gonna put this in the box first. We are taking we're each allowed a limit, but we're only gonna take one limit. We're staying at Trail End Cabins. We're gonna have a feed of crappie tonight. So I'll get him in the box. But Eric, off camera, you were telling us about the growth rates and how this is the most northern portion of Canada for crappie.
Yep. So what's unique about our crappie fisheries in the eastern region of Manitoba is that we have a really high density of lakes and rivers containing black crappie, but at the most northern extent of their natural range right now. Part of what makes these fish interesting is that so much of fish growth is dictated by temperature and growing days. We got long winters here and we're further north. So our fish actually grow slower than they do, let's say, in more southerly latitudes in the States, right?
Yep.
But what's interesting is that our fish, they tend to get very big because they live a very long time. So we do age fish up to 15 years old in the eastern region here. And it's not uncommon to get into fish that are 15 inches, 15 and a half inches, and sometimes north of 16 inches here.
Ooh. So colder water up north,
Yeah.
slower growth rates, but eventually grow big fish, trophy crappie.
Yeah, that's right. These fish will live to be old and continue to spawn and be caught by anglers in the system and for 12, 13, 14
I'm
years.
wanting to hook into one of those 16 rigs.
Absolutely. Well, let's keep targeting them.
This segment has been brought to you by Rock Guard, protect your investment, and Power Pole, total boat control. Closed captioning is brought to you by Buzz Bomb Tackle, iconic sonic fishing lures, made in North America for over 50 years.
We just come into another bay, and Eric says that's pretty common, where you catch 2 or 3 active fish, or 5 or 6, and in the month of August, then you got to jump into, keep jumping them, going looking for them. That is, how big would that be, Eric?
That looks like a 12.5-inch crappie.
And now, is that average? Is that big?
So
I don't do a lot of crappie fish.
Yeah. No, for this system, we have a pretty good average size. We got a lot of fish in that 11 to 12-inch range.
So this is a wee bit above average?
Yeah, a little bit above average, yeah.
Excellent, because we got lots of 11 and a half.
That's right, yeah.
Like lots of, we haven't caught anything smaller than that.
Yeah.
So these are on their way to trophy class, or is that trophy class?
Oh no, they could definitely get much bigger. So in this system, we can see fish that are 14, 15 inches long for sure. Yeah.
14, 15? I'll go for one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll keep grinding it out.
I think we're on to a couple here now, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I just landed one and we didn't go a boat length.
There's a nice one.
Whoa.
That's a nice one. Excellent. That's what we're looking for.
Holy cow. These are jumbos in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow.
So how old do you think that fish would be?
Well, if that's, let's say that's a 13, maybe 13.5-inch fish. So in that system, that fish could be around that 8 to 10 years old mark, I'd say, based on the growth curves we have for crappie in this system.
And how old can crappie get?
So our real trophy fish, if we're talking about those 15-plus-inch fish and up to 16 inches, those, depending on the system, some systems they grow faster than others, could be anywhere from 8 to 15 years old. And we've seen them up to 15, which is a pretty old panfish.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This Gear Talk is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
So we got a 1/2 ounce bottom bouncer. Normally when I'm fishing walleye, it's 2 ounces. Then we got maybe about 2 feet of sunline, and then just a small hook and a little plastic, and we're just bouncing that along. Depending on the wind, we're going anywhere from 0.8 to 1.2 and picking them up. Set the hook, ultralight rods. You don't even set the hook, to be honest. You just let it load up, because you've seen how thin those crappies' mouths are. Anyone who fishes crappie has lost them due to their thin mouth. So it's just a simple sweep, fight the fish, and enjoy. Boy, that's a beauty crappie.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right on. Well done.
This is great. Again, they're just coming. They're coming off the edge of these weed beds here. 13 feet of water. 12 has been pretty consistent that we're picking them up.
Yeah.
And not aggressive bites, just grabbing it, rod loads up, and just begin reeling. Eric's on again. I'm just gonna leave it in case we get a double header.
Nice crappie.
Whoa.
There we go. You jumped right into the net. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're all nice in here.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
So we've got our limit. We're gonna have supper at the cabin. So there's no need to keep any more fish than what we have. Catch and release, but you can keep fishing all day, but catch and release.
Wild Cookhouse is brought to you by Wild West Seasonings, home of award-winning seasonings, marinades, brines, and batters.
So we come back here to Trail End Camp. They got fillet shacks, they got everything you need here We got our limit of crappie, which we were catching on the weed line edges in 12 to 14 feet of water. Bottom bouncer. We're using walleye techniques for crappie. Don is gonna flay them up, and we're gonna introduce these fish to some Wild West seasoning and show you how we cook up crappie here at Trails End Camp. We're gonna be cooking with Kevin Stobie, the owner of Hooked Magazine. Actually, we're not cooking with him, he's cooking. He's gonna cook up the crappie that we caught today. So this was a very basic recipe with Wild West seasonings. We just battered it, put it in some oil, you can use butter, and this is the end result of the crappie that we caught just a few hours ago. You can enjoy your time on the water fishing, on the beach, or here in the cabin eating your catch of the day just a few hours ago.
This segment has been brought to you by Hooked Magazine, hooked on fishing in the great outdoors, and Lucky Bug Lures. Get hooked on Lucky Bug Lures. This segment is brought to you by the City of Airdrie. Big city amenities with that small town feel. And gill fishing. Anywhere, all conditions.
We're in Manitoba. We're near Point Dubois with Trail End Camp and Outfitters. Fishing with me is Kevin Stobie, the owner of Hooked Media, which produces Hooked Magazine. Kevin, what do we expect here today?
Well, we've already got some bass. Probably get some walleye.
In the same spot.
In the same spot, maybe some pike.
He's finally got a chance to get out of the office. Instead of editing fishing and hunting and outdoors, we're now doing a little fishing. We're going to be casting big sky jigs with big bite baits for bass and walleye with Hooked Media. Yeah. In the current too, they know how to fight this current. We don't know if we got a walleye or a bass on. There could be both here, Carter.
That was fast.
Hey, there could be both here.
Yeah, there can be both here, yeah.
Outstanding. Second or third cast. Fishing a hump out in the middle of somewhere. Get him up. Oh, he swam right at the boat. Big smallmouth. So I think that's the first time in my career that I've ever been casting for walleye. Swimming a walleye, big bite baits, plastic, and hooking in to a nice smallmouth bass. Walleye fishing for bass. So what I'm doing here is just a big bite bait, big sky jig. He ripped her up pretty good. And we're casting, letting it sink 20 feet of water roughly, and just swimming it back. And it can be bass, can be walleye, might even pick up the odd pike. Yeah, he hit it twice and come back, smallmouth. What are we now, 14 feet of water?
Yep, pretty much.
Actually, yeah, you got him? Perfect.
Sweet.
Just another nice smallmouth. I just broke off, had to tie on a new big sky jig. Put on a new thumper tail from Big Bite Baits. Bang. I got it. Yeah. I'll come in and help you, Kevin.
Ah, thanks, Wes.
Carter's dealing with more fish up front.
That's a nice little bass.
A little bail. Holy. They are very aggressive. Hang on. Kevin, that's your fish. Big sky jig, big bite bait. Line everywhere.
Awesome. That's a beauty.
Kevin Stobie, Hooked Magazine. I think I got a smallmouth bass on, and he's a lot better than that little guy I just released. A cast.
Oh, he's got a walleye.
Oh, he's got a walleye that I caught.
2 in 1.
Now that is how it's done, Dawn and Kevin Lamont.
That's cool.
So it was a smallmouth Let's show you how this plays out. Just let us get there. So I was fighting him, brought him up to the surface, gonna release him. And this guy T-boned him. So the truth is I saved that bass life.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and this pike wasn't hooked in any way. He was just hanging on to the bass. Now that's Fish in the Wild West TV. This one hit it, I just finished jigging and the jig was falling again when he hit it. There's a walleye.
Nice walleye.
First walleye for our lunch. Well, if I get him in the boat.
Yeah.
In the boat. All right. So all we're doing here is exactly what we're doing for the bass, smallmouth bass, except we were casting these over the humps and swimming it. Now we're on different set of humps that Carter has brought us to, and same humps, down, same lures, and just jigging it. Big Sky jigs and a big bite bait. And a perfect eater for our lunch.
Fishing the Wild West TV will be right back. This segment is brought to you by Big Sky Flies and Jigs, tackle you can trust, and Tourism Saskatchewan. Start planning your visit today.
So we've just walked across, portaged into one lake where there was a boat waiting. Then we come across that lake into Burton Lake. Now, Carter's an expert on this lake and he says it's loaded with smallmouth bass, literally untouched smallmouth bass. This is just one of the adventures you can do when you book a trip at Trail End Camp and Outfitters. Not only can you fish the Winnipeg River, but you can come into here to Burton Lake. Casted out a Fusion Extreme right when we rounded this rock corner, and he took it just within a few cranks of the reel. And again, it's a 1, 2, 3 punch with the F-bomb, the Fusion Extreme, the Lucky Bug, or the Big Bite baits with the Big Sky jigs. The last thing you want to do, Carter, is come in here with one bait.
Yep.
You never know what these smallmouth are after. Good
always
one.
something
You must have
different.
played basketball. And picking up some nice smallmouth bass. Again, it's just how dark they are in comparison to yesterday when we were on Winnipeg River catching them with Carter. Just crazy, crazy good. Strong, healthy. The water's really stained, so everything, the pike are really dark, the bass are really dark, and I'm assuming the bait fish are really dark. Just back-to-back casts with that Fusion Extreme. Almost casted right back to the same spot. Perfect. 14, 15 inches, you said?
Yeah, 14, 15, 16.
But we're seeing a couple different age groups here, smaller, bigger. If you're booking a trip with Trails End Camp and Outfitters, make sure you come into this lake. Ask about it, make sure you come in. It is a ton of fun. Just changed up, I just got bit off by a pike, so I changed out my jig, put a new Big Bite bait on, made 2 casts, and got myself, I don't know if it was a pike or smallmouth bass. That's the thing, you don't know here.
No.
But the one that bit me off, I was pretty sure. I was pretty confident. I gotta go around, because the boat's, I may have to, because the boat's drifting on top of us. There he is.
Oh, that's a nice smallmouth.
Okay, get your in the water.
Nope.
That is a nice smallmouth bass. That's probably going to be one of my biggest ever. Huh. Let's look at this bad boy.
Nice fish.
I just put a green Big Sky jig on. I've gone through so many of these today, I don't know what I started with or what I'm gonna end with. But just beautiful little smallmouth bass. These good size, and they're fat, they're healthy, they're strong, and they're abundant. So I made 3 casts. I just landed that one with the big bite bait and Big Sky jigs. I made 3 casts, nothing. So I grabbed the other rod with the Fusion Extreme and made 1 cast and got it. And that's like just changing up, making it quick and easy. Now, I'm gonna just take this out of here so I don't hurt myself. They're a cool fish. And here Burton Lake is loaded with them. Boy, he goes to the bottom. We're just gonna keep casting. Carter's got us, he just takes us up and lets the current take us around and just keep picking them off. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, Fish in the Wild West TV on the Winnipeg River System at Trail End Camp and Outfitters. If you liked what you've seen, follow us on social media or through the pages of Hooked Magazine.
Have you ever caught a smallmouth?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Where?
They're one of the strongest fighting fish I've ever done battle with, pound for pound.
Oh, I know. That's why people love
Lake
it.
of the Woods.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I've just never netted one before.
well, I only missed them twice.
Fishing the streams, fishing